Hi, my name is Jesse Storm, and I'm the president of Fathers for Justice of Pennsylvania. I thought I'd take a minute, since it's Domestic Violence Month, and talk to you good folks out there in regards to domestic violence. We're here to protect everyone's civil rights and civil liberties. Children deserve the right to have two parents. Children don't deserve to be involved in domestic violence. This needs to end. For anyone watching this video who's engaged in domestic violence, it needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. Folks, I'd like to bring your attention to a few things here in PA. We, as Fathers for Justice of Pennsylvania, cannot police the entire world. But we can do our part here in Pennsylvania to help make it safer for your children. Domestic Violence Month comes with some ups and downs. The first is, it's a great thing to do. It is definitely a plus to make people aware of domestic violence. But people need to be made aware of the reality in domestic violence. The truths of domestic violence. Here in Pennsylvania we have House Resolution number 814 from the 2008 session. And in this resolution it states a few numbers that people need to be made aware of. There are places out here like Lancaster General Hospital and other institutions that are putting out false numbers and falsifying information. They may be getting it from a bad source, but we're here to tell you a few things. Here in Pennsylvania, in the month of October 2008, as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Pennsylvania, House Resolution 814 states, whereas domestic violence is a pattern of abusive behaviors used to establish power and control over an intimate partner, and whereas domestic violence often causes emotional harm to victims, their children, other family members, friends, neighbors, and co-workers, and whereas domestic violence affects men, women, in all racial, ethnic, religious, educational, and social and economical backgrounds, and whereas domestic violence takes many forms, whereby victims are often subject to abuse, harassment, threats, vandalism, trespassing, burglary, theft, stalking, and whereas domestic violence is often escalated, causing victims to suffer physical and emotional trauma, anxiety, stress, sleep deprivation, loss of confidence, fear, and in some cases, injury and death by suicide or homicide. And whereas 1 in every 4 women and 1 in every 9 men will experience domestic violence in his or her lifetime. And whereas 1 in 6 women and 1 in 33 men have experienced an attempted or completed rape. And whereas approximately 1.3 million women and 835,000 men are physically assaulted by an intimate partner annually in the United States. And whereas 30% to 60%, which is a wide percentage, of perpetrators of intimate partners violence also abuse children in the home. And whereas intimate partners violence results in more than 18.5 million mental health care visits each year. And whereas the cost of intimate partner violence exceeds $5.8 billion each year, $4.1 billion of which is for direct medical and mental health services. And whereas domestic violence is one of the most chronically underreported crimes, and whereas there are many barriers to detecting domestic violence, and whereas to increase victims' safety, authorities must carefully follow a screening process, reporting, documentation, referral requirements, and whereas at-risk individuals and families need victim education relating to their legal rights, judicial proceedings, advocacy, counseling, and support services, shelter care, and crisis intervention. Therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives recognizes the month of October 2008 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Pennsylvania. Now, folks, this is from the House of Representatives here in Pennsylvania. It's not from the federal government. It's not from your local police station. It's from our legislators in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. These numbers, I would assume, are as accurate as they possibly can be. Issues like Lancaster General Hospital, where they say that 95% of all domestic violence is against women and children, whereas only 5% are against men. I'm sorry. You've misrepresented the numbers, Lancaster General Hospital. If you get on the PA website, you can find the Pennsylvania Domestic Violence and Spousal Abuse Laws. You can find different organizations on the website itself, one of which is Pennsylvania's Coalition Against Domestic Violence, which derives a lot of facts and numbers. In their facts and numbers from the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence, they say that in 2007 there were 121 deaths due to domestic violence. They have the breakdowns. 56.5, or 48 females, killed by a current or former intimate partner. 10.6 males killed by a current or former intimate partner. 22.3 males killed by others. 9.2 females killed by others. You've got 56 women killed in 2007 due to domestic violence. You have 27 males killed in 2007 by domestic violence. This is clearly an issue that is not gender biased. This is clearly an issue that touches all genders, all races, and all creeds, as our state legislators have stated. Now, on this same website from the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence, under their reporting in Lancaster, there were 3 deaths. A 41-year-old man, 48-year-old woman, and a 45-year-old woman. No mention of the 2 children that were killed by their mother. No, they seem to have left that one out. Men, it's no longer fine to say, I'm a man, just because she beat me or hit me. I'm not going to call the cops because I'm not going to be ridiculed and humiliated. The police have an obligation to all people, no matter of race, religion, or creed. Although, in present times, the police don't normally support the man. When they come to the home or come to the incident scene, generally the men are the first ones to be arrested for domestic violence.